Again, parents, family members, I love you, but please do not watch this. Let's talk about sex.
And I really want to just say I'm sorry for how dark it is. It's load shedding. I don't know what to do. And what is endometriosis?
My vulva is your vulva.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So good to have you here. For everyone who's new here, I'm Courtney, and welcome to my vlog. Today I am so excited to finally sit down and film this vlog about endometriosis. So like I said, if you're new here, my channel has everything to do about the craziness of motherhood, living life with a toddler, and just trying to figure out this thing we call life. But it's also really has a huge focus on my journey with endometriosis. So today is our first sit down chat where I can finally talk to you guys about my journey with endometriosis, how I fell pregnant with endometriosis, and answer your questions. I do want to put a disclaimer that I am a bit sniffly. The whole family is sick. It's a whole thing. So I've got my tea. But another disclaimer for family, extended family members, potential prudes, there will be discussion about sex, and we will use words like penis and clitoris and penetration. So if you maybe want to stay a little sheltered to that part of my life, no problem, totally get it, but you may want to skip this vlog. But if anyone wants to discuss my sex life, come on, join us. Grab a cup of tea, grab a glass of wine, and let's get into it. I have got Heath's toys that I need to organize while I'm chatting to you guys, so I thought 2 birds, 1 stone. So I asked a few of you, well, I asked my followers on Instagram. I asked my followers on Instagram. I have like 600 followers and most of them are friends and family, so but anyway, I asked you guys what you wanted to hear from this video, so I will be answering those questions. If you want to give me a follow, you can do so here, and you can stay up to date with my family and ask me anything that I may have not covered in this chat. So first, let's talk a little bit about my journey with endometriosis, and what is endometriosis and why is it such a big part of my life. Let me start off by saying what endometriosis is. So there isn't a lot of research about this disease. Some may say it's because it's a woman-only disease, or should I say uterus owner disease. I just want to say as well for this video, when I'm talking about endometriosis, I'm going to refer to women, but I do mean uterus owners, and by men, I mean penis owners. I will try and be aware of those terms, but just in case I offend anyone, I just want to say sorry in advance, and I will try to make this as inclusive as possible. But anyway, back to what endometriosis is. Endometriosis is, yeah, it's not a very heavily funded disease, unfortunately, even though it affects 1 in 10 women, which I actually think is 1 in 7 women worldwide. It's one of the leading reasons for infertility in women. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's just one giant shit show. It causes an incredible amount of pain, monthly, all the time. It changes your life. And I don't mean like, oh, I changed my life and I'm so like healthier and I'm so much more aware of my feelings. No, it sucks. It causes the worst period pain times like 100 every month. But for every woman, the symptoms are different, the experiences are different. That's why there's such like a limited understanding of what it is and how it affects women. With that all in mind, the Cliff Notes version of what endometriosis is when it's tissue that's similar to the lining of your uterus grows outside your uterus. And now there are a few theories as to why this happens. Some say it's because your period, in some women, instead of like all your period coming out, sometimes it goes up and then it sticks to your organs and different places that it shouldn't be in. Some people think you're born with it. Some people think it's like an immunodeficiency. But at the end of the day, I personally feel it's just like a bunch of people throwing things at a wall and hoping it will stick. because like I said, there's no cure. I don't know why a sock is in the books, but okay. What's really, really devastating about it is that a lot of women feel totally helpless and don't have resources to gynecologists and specialists and hormonal treatment. And I'm a part of a lot of endometriosis groups, and it is so heartbreaking to see women go on these groups and just say like, I don't know what to do. It can just be a shit show. It's the only way I can describe it. So a few symptoms of endometriosis, like I said, is intense period pain, ovulation pain, heavy periods, like if you clot during your period, that could be something worth looking into, and of course infertility. There are a number of other symptoms that are worth looking into, but those are the main culprits. I got diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 20, and that was quite a journey. Load shedding. I think such a huge problem in like with being a woman is that we don't talk about these things. I don't know why. We don't talk about what it is like to own a vulva and have the uterus and what that means. I want to just say I'm so aware of my privilege that I have access to the resources that I do, that I can talk about these things and I can clue myself up on them. And I really implore you, if you are struggling with endometriosis, please do your own research. Please reach out to people like me who have gone through the whole thing. There's so much more knowledge out there now than there was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I started this thing. Just make sure that you're doing what's right for your body. I support you 100%, and I'll get into that later, because what I'm doing now to support my own body, I don't necessarily agree with either. But you know, if you find in your research that endometriosis can be cured by pregnancy, listen, let's connect. If a doctor tells you that your endometriosis can be cured by pregnancy, this is what you tell them. Thank you for your time. See you never. No. Major red flag. It's just an incredibly irresponsible thing to tell someone that they should bring in a human that they're going to be responsible for the rest of their life to cure something that they're not even certain it cures. But anyway, I digress. I could honestly talk about this for hours. I also wanted to and I really want to just say I'm sorry for how dark it is. It's load shedding and it's a rainy day, but it's okay, guys. We're here for the content, we're not here for the ambiance, okay? I've been really struggling with endometriosis these couple months, and I went to my gynecologist a month ago, and she just basically was like, you're being an idiot. Not in those words, I'm 100% paraphrasing here. Being irresponsible, not looking after my endometriosis right now, because what I'm doing is basically wrecking my pelvis for baby number 2. So I've made the decision to go back on the pill, which I'm really not happy about. The thought of putting hormones into my body, synthetic hormones into my body, is something that I feel really passionately about. I don't agree for me personally. Like, guys, like I said, do what feels right for your body. I'm not here to judge. I don't like. Yeah, it's just like I feel so crap on the pill. But at the stage, I'm like, yes, I can go and support myself. Naturally, I can support myself. All these different hormone experts and whatever. But at the end of the day, if I'm the reason we can't have a second baby because I did something that was irresponsible, or I did something that was like, that I should have done better and I should have known better to look after my body, like that is, I can't go there. So yeah, let me get to what I'm doing to help support my body. I am taking I think it's called the Zoli pill. It's apparently a middle of the road type of pill. it has made my period so much worse, which I'm really glad we're actually sitting down to film this now, because I finished my period today, my first period on the pill, and it was horrible. Horrible. I was in so much pain. I don't want to get into details, but it was just really awful. And it kind of was extremely discouraging, feeling like, well, I'm taking this pill to help preserve my pelvis and like help me, but yet I feel worse than I have in the past 2 years. So then what else I'm doing is I'm taking these Kiko Vitals. The one is a hormone balance and the one is a gut glow debloat, and I'm really enjoying taking these. I take the hormone balance in the morning, and then the debloat and gut glow I take after meals. And one thing that has been a really strange side effect of the pill is that whenever I finish eating, pain is like instant, and it doesn't matter if I'm eating broccoli, it doesn't matter if I'm eating like red meat, it doesn't matter if I'm eating like friggin' air, it gets so painful, which is a really strange side effect. So this has been really super helpful. And then I'm taking a probiotic, just a basic probiotic to try and protect my gut. And I'm taking Preg Omega Plus again, even though we're not trying to fall pregnant. Hello. It's just these, I always feel like prenatal vitamins are always good for you no matter where you are in your life. So I'm going to answer some of your questions now. The first question I had was, how do I manage flare-ups? And this is a really lovely question, because I think I can talk about this for hours as well. One of the best ways to manage your endometriosis is actually look at, well, what I've found is the best to look at your triggers and your diet. So for me, my big triggers were stress, dairy, and meat. If you're in a position where you can eliminate stress in your life, whether it's your job, whether it's taking time in your day to go outside, get some fresh air and just decompressurize, that will probably be the best thing that you can do for your flare-up long term. Short term, because I know when you just want like a quick fix, if I have a really bad flare-up, there are a few things I'm going to go do. I'm going to get my ass into bed. I'm going to go and get a heated heat pack or a water bottle, take my Miprodol and get into bed and just try and relax. However, that is also pre-baby Courtney. Post-baby Courtney is a little different. Miprodols are always a go-to in my house. You will always see me with a pack of Miprodols. I will never be without Miprodol or some sort of anti-inflammatory. That being said, if you're breastfeeding or pregnant, unfortunately this remedy isn't, I don't think it's safe for breastfeeding, so just maybe need to research that one. But turmeric tablets, I swear by turmeric tablets. But again, this is a long-term fix. It isn't something you can really do short-term. It does work short-term, but I found in my opinion that like the best results were when I took my turmeric tablets every day, and that helped minimize my flare-ups. So that is definitely worth a try. Look at your diet. What's triggering your diet? So the classic endometriosis flare-up food groups is dairy, red meat, gluten, sugar, alcohol. Is alcohol a food group? Let's say for the sake of this conversation it is. Those are generally the big ones. So when I started researching my endo stuff, I did an elimination diet. So one week I would say like, cool, I'm not doing any dairy. How did I feel after the dairy? Was I fine with it out of my diet? When I introduced it again, did I get flare-ups? What was that like? And I did that with a few food groups. So by doing that, I found that dairy and meat were my big ones. That's how I'm managing flare-ups. I hope that answers your question. But let's actually get to the good stuff.
Reset, because it was getting far too dark down there. And this next conversation needs a little bit of wine. Let's talk about sex. So one of the biggest and most asked questions I get is, cheers everyone, how do you have sex with endometriosis and not be in constant pain? Great question. Love that question. Let's talk about sex all day, every day, because there's no question about sex that I'm going to shy away from. Fun fact about me, I actually really am so desperate to get my sex therapy counselor's degree so that I can actually talk about this stuff and get paid for it. And I think one of the biggest things when it comes to sex is that people don't like to talk about sex. And this is just my experience. I think people feel awkward about it. I feel awkward about it talking to just Tom sometimes about having sex, and it's just like an awkward conversation. Unfortunately, about endometriosis and sex, you're gonna have to get real comfortable talking about sex with your partner. That is my best tip, is to have an honest sit-down conversation with your partner and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling when we have sex. This is what feels good, this is what doesn't. Because at the end of the day, you want to feel good when you have sex, your partner wants you to feel good when you have sex, and if they don't, see ya. I would highly recommend everyone who watches this vlog to go and follow, I think it's called Vanessa in Therapy. I will link them below, and you will learn a lot about yourself and a lot about sex from their Instagram. I really do love following them. I've learned about myself a lot, and any sex therapist or sex expert will tell you, you've got to know what feels good in your body first. How is your partner? And I think this is something media or women, or I don't know what it is, people assume that men know how to make your body feel good, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever slept with a person and you've been like, what the F is this person doing? Do they even know where it is? And you have to think like, I'm talking mainly male to female. For this sex talk, I'm generally speaking male to female. A lot of it will apply to male to male or female to female or whatever sex you or gender you resonate with. But just for this example, a man's body is very different to a woman's body, and you can't expect them to know what buttons to push, right? So you've got to know how to push your own buttons in order to communicate to them how to push those correctly. I hope that makes sense. So don't be afraid of a little self-exploration, whether that's your hands, whether that's toys, whether that's, I don't know, shower heads. Like, you've got to know what feels good, and you've got to be able to communicate that to your partner. So that is my first tip. Know yourself. And then the second tip is to figure out with your partner what feels good together. And I think this could be a really fun like foreplay activity for the two of you to do. So for me and Tom, or just me specifically, I have endometriosis on my vaginal wall, which means any deep penetration is like a big no-no for me. That's just too sore, I can't go there. So what works well for us is just like standard missionary, Tom on top, me at the bottom. Again, parents, family members, I love you, but please do not watch this. And that is something we've learned from trying different things. And I do recommend looking into where your endometriosis is situated on your body if you can. And then that will help you figure out, okay, I know I've got endometriosis on my vaginal wall. So if any like penis penetration or dildo penetration or whatever it is you choose it to penetrate touches that, that's going to be a major pain point. Some women or some people prefer to be on top so that they can control the depth of the penetration. That is something that you and your partner will do, and I think it could be a really sexy activity to do before getting into it. Like, spend some time, the two of you, get a glass of wine, get cozy, and actually spend time researching different positions for you to try, and kind of tick them off one by one and say like, okay, that one was terrible, I'm not doing that again. Or hey, reverse cowgirl, okay, I see you, let's try that one again. Reverse cowgirl did not feel good for me, it was really sore. Just a fun fact. So yeah, spend some time researching, spend some time getting to know each other's bodies. Who knows, I think, like I said, speaking about sex can be such an awkward thing, and sometimes people might feel a bit timid to approach it, but with endometriosis, until there's like a better cure, until we know what the hell is going on with our bodies, like, we have to take control and we have to lead the charge, unfortunately. Number 3, lube is your friend. Lube up before sex, get nice and comfortable down there, and that will make penetration a lot easier. Spend time with foreplay, spend time getting in the mood, because a lot of it also is just getting your mind in the right gear. I think with women we definitely are, like, having sex for me is an experience. I can't just be turned on instantly. I have to get there. I can't be worrying about what I'm going to get Heath tomorrow for breakfast. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. So there's that. Get in the mood. Spend time getting your lady parts in the mood. That will definitely help with the pain. That will definitely help ease your body into it. And take your time with the foreplay. Don't rush the foreplay. That is such a good way of preparing your body and your muscles and your mind of what's to come. Tip number 4, and this is my favorite tip, is your clitoris is your friend. Let me say that again. Your clitoris is your friend. I know it's a funny word. I don't like saying that word, but if you follow Vanessa M Therapy, or I hope that's their name, because anyway, if you follow them, that is a great resource to reference to your partner. If you maybe don't feel comfortable having these conversations with them, you can maybe ask them to follow that account. And one thing that they preach is that it's not the norm for women to orgasm vaginally. You have to have clitoral stimulation. So whether that means incorporating some toys into your bedroom, whether that means just asking your partner to spend more time focusing on that region, or even if you do it yourself while your partner does what they got to do. That is the best way to kind of redirect the vaginal pain to maybe something more pleasurable in the bedroom. I'm such an advocate for having toys in the bedroom. I think it's great. I think a lot more people should do it. Tom and I have used them. I'm going to just let you guys know right now. But for me, I can't do internal vibrators because it's just too painful. It shakes my endo. I don't know. But I love some clitoral stimulation. All for it. Big fan. And I think you will be too if you want to try it. Those are my 4 tips. And then I've got a 4.5 tip, because this is kind of about the sex toy thing, is there is a device or a toy, or I don't know what you want to call it. It's called O-Nut, and I'll link it down below. And this is from a local store, so it's really great to support local. And essentially what it does, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a barrier between the penis and the vagina, so it makes sure your partner doesn't penetrate too deeply, while still giving them that pleasure sensation. So if you really do struggle with internal vaginal penetration, that is a great aid. And I haven't tried it, but I've heard such great reviews about it. So yeah, I'll link that down below for you guys to check it out. If you do try it, please DM me, give me a message on Instagram, let me know how it goes. And I just want to round out the sex talk with, it's so important to reframe what we know as sex. I think with women, and again uterus owners who have endometriosis, sometimes I feel like our sex lives are kind of limited because of the pain. And I know for me personally, I don't even sometimes want to get into that sexy mood, because I just know it's going to be painful, I'm not going to enjoy it, and it's just you know. So let's reframe what having sex means. It doesn't necessarily mean penis to vagina. It means, there's mouth stuff you can do, there's hand stuff you can do. Like I said, toys are an amazing aid for you guys to have a great sex life. It doesn't just mean, good old. Can we also just say the myth of men and women orgasming together? That doesn't happen. I hate to break your porno dreams. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. Not often. So, and it is okay for you, maybe you and your partner can focus on you in the first half of your sexy time together, where you guys can explore what feels good for your body. And in the second half, you can explore what feels good to your partner's body. And I think the more that you just try things and throw things to the wall, see what sticks, that is my best tip on how to have sex without pain. Because my body And these tips have worked for me, but could be completely different to you. So I really do hope that information is helpful. Like I said, I would really love it if you just pop me a message and we can talk about it a little bit more in detail. I'm always available to talk about anything about endometriosis. My vulva is your vulva. We can talk. And I think that wraps up all the questions and all the endometriosis talk. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I'm gonna go and enjoy my wine and my boys, and I hope this video just makes whoever's watching this feel a little less alone, because I know how isolating this pain can be, and I know how hard it is, and I know how hard it is to feel understood by people or feel supported by people. And I just want you guys to know, and whoever's watching this, that I'm always here to talk. And I don't just mean that like, oh, send me a DM. Like, no, I'm really here to talk. I'm always here to lend a helping hand. I'm not too sure if I mentioned this earlier in terms of treatment, is just find a health practitioner you can trust. Find someone who knows the difference between ablation surgery, which is when they just burn it, and excision surgery, where they actually cut out the endometriosis and has the best success rates. Find a practitioner that listens to you and trust your gut. And I hope it won't be like this forever. And I'm thinking of you guys, and I really appreciate you watching this vlog. I'll see you around very soon. Bye!